guys, it must be Villain, and welcome to Cincinnati as our bid to find baseball's greatest team continues with the Reds. And today we have 4 teams to be crowned. One of them will be crowned anyway, the best team in this franchise's history, move on to represent them against the rest of baseball. So we have 1940, 1919, 1975, and the 1990 Reds all going head to head. So we had to have 2 semi-finals to get to the final, which we will see today. And the first semi-final was between 1975 and 1990. The 1975 Reds were led off by Ken Griffey in right field, Pete Rose at third base batted second, Joe Morgan at second base batted third, George Foster in left field cleaned up, it was Johnny Bench at catching 5, Tony Perez at first base batted 6, Cesar Geronimo in center field batted 7, David Concepcion at shortstop batted 8, and John Gullett was on the mound. And the 1990 Reds were led off by Barry Larkin at shortstop, Mariano Duncan at second base batted second, Hal Morris at first base batted third, Chris Sabo at third base cleaned up, Eric Davis in center field batted 5, Paul O'Neill in right field batted 6, Glenn Braggs in left field batted 7, Jeff Reed the catcher was 8, and Jose Rijo was on the mound. 2 on, none out, and Morgan's 2 RBI single gives the 1975 Reds the lead. 2 on, 2 out, and Davis's RBI single cuts the lead in half. 1 on, 1 out, Morgan's RBI double extends the lead back out to 2 runs. 1 on, 1 out, Foster hits a 2-run bomb to make it 5-1. None on, 2 out, and Morris's solo home run brings it back to 5-2. Two on, 2 out, Denny Jackson on the mound, and Rose's 3-run home run makes it 8-2. Two on, 1 out, Norm Charlton on the mound, and Griffey drives in the 9th run of the game. 1 on, 2 out, Will McEnemy on the mound, and Reed grounds out, winning it for the 75 Reds. So 1975, far too good on the day in that one. So that left them into the final 2, to face the winner of 1940 versus 1919. So let's see who came out on top in that one. The 1940 Reds were led off by Billy Werber at third base, Maury Arnovich batted second in left field, it was Ival Goodman at right field batting 3, Ernie Lombardi at catcher batted 4, Frank McCormack at first base batted 5, Lonnie Frey at second base batted 6, Harry Kraft at center field batted 7, Billy Myers the shortstop batted 8, and Paul Duringer was on the mound. And for the 1919 Reds, it was Pat Duncan in left field leading things off, Maury Rath at second base batted 2nd, Ed Rolsh at center field batted 3rd, Henny Grohl at third base cleaned up, Jake Dobert at first base batted 5, it was Jimmy Smith at shortstop batting 6, Greasy Neal in right field batted 7, Bill Reardon at catcher was 8, and Hod Eller was on the mound. 1 on, 2 out, and Lombardi's 2-run home run gives the 1940 Reds the lead. None on, 2 out, and Smith's solo home run brings the lead back to 1. 1 on, none out, Dutch Reuter on the mound, and Ananovic's RBI single makes it 3-1. 3 on, none out, Rube Bressler on the mound, and Werber's RBI single makes it 4-1. 3 on, 1 out, and Goodman hits a 2 RBI single to make it 6-1. 2 on, 1 out, Dolph Luque on the mound, and Lombardi drives in a 7th run for the 1940 Reds. 2 on, 2 out, and Frey's 3-run home run makes it 10-1. 3 on, 1 out, Whitley Moore on the mound, and pinch hitter Wingo hits an RBI single. 3 on, 2 out, and Duncan grounds out to end the misery and win it for the 1940 Reds. So another one-sided game, so there can be no doubts that 1975 versus 1940 is the sort of the money matchup we'd want to see. Both these teams in their regular seasons won over 100 games, 108 for 1975 and 100 on the nose for 1940. It's a one-off game. We default to modern era stats, World Series rosters if available, and there will be no injuries. So let's go and see who's playing for which teams. So these are the two rosters with their stats from their particular season. I'm in the middle here, hopefully, so you'll be able to zoom in and pause and all that if you want to have a bit of a longer look. But let's check the lineups for the first pitch. And here they are. So leading off 1975 is Ken Griffey. Pete Rose bats second at third base. Joe Morgan at second bats third. George Foster in left field cleans up. Johnny Bench is catching at 5. Then we've got Tony Perez at first base batting 6. Cesar Geronimo in center field bats 7. David Concepcion at shortstop bats 8. And David Gullett. And yes, I know that's probably not how you say it. Let me have my fun. He is the man on the mound. As for the 1940 side, Lonnie Frey will lead things off at second base. It is Maury Arnovich in left field batting second. Ival Goodman in right field bats 3. It is Ernie Lombardi catching at cleanup. Frank McCormick at first base bats 5. Then we've got Billy Werber at third base. Harry Kraft at center field. Billy Myers at shortstop. And Paul Derringer is the man on the mound. Alright, here we go. Again, a big thank you to all of my channel members and patrons as they scroll across the bottom of the screen there. It is greatly appreciated, all that support. Links in the description for social medias and all that kind of stuff if you have the desire to follow me there. Let's get this game underway. And it is a 3-pitch strikeout for Ken Griffey. Now, I'm assuming that's not Ken Griffey Jr. because that's probably his dad, isn't it? Petey Rose has got one into center field. It drops in, and Pete Rose, who had quite a good semi-final, it must be said, starts things off for himself in the final with a double. So 1 on, 1 out, and it is Joe Morgan to the plate. An 0-2. Morgan, how deep is that? That looks like it's pretty deep. It is! Not quite deep enough. But Morgan with an RBI, looks like triple. Petey Rose comes across to open the scoring. It is 1-0 to 1975. Oh, the fans, that's a bit loud, a bit aggressive. So 1 on, runner at third. It is already 1-0. Foster steps up. First pitch, grounds it past the first baseman. It's an RBI single. It's 2-0 to 1975. And, well, they do look a decent side, it has to be said. I'm a little young to remember that, that could be a double play. So that'll end the inning, not before they get 2. Yeah, a little young for both these teams, unfortunately. So, don't know really anything about the recognised names, but that's about it. So John Gullett will go onto the mound, and Frey will lead things off. And Frey takes a 3-1 pitch and grounds it out to the first baseman. You do wonder if that was something he could have left. Maury Arnovich will step up now. A 1-1 pitch. And Arnovich dribbles it back to the pitcher. That'll be 2 away. And it's in danger of being a 1-2-3 inning. Ival Goodman. A 3-1. And Goodman hits it well, but it is caught in a diving fashion by Griffey. And that... Ken Griffey Jr. played for the Reds as well, did he not? Again, I'm showing my sort of lack of general knowledge of baseball. But I'm sure he played for the Reds. As we get a leadoff single there for Tony Perez. So 1 on, none out. Geronimo to the plate. Full count. And a walk. So it's not going particularly well for 1940 right now, is it? Dave Concepcion. A 1-0. And he has got that through, has he? Yes, he has. And I don't know if it'll score the runner. No, he kind of had to wait for it to beat the second baseman, didn't he? So it loads the bases, though, with none out and John Gullett. It's a 1-1. And the pitcher has grounded it into a double play. Oh, no, I think he beats it. But they do get the out at home. So no run scores. 1 away. Still loaded bases. And Ken Griffey to the plate, who is 0 for 1, of course. First pitch. Ken Griffey into deep center field. Oh, it's a diving catch out there. It'll score a run. So it'll be 2 out, 3-0. And 2 on for Pete Rose. Can he extend the lead here? He's 1 for 1, of course. An 0-1 pitch. And Pete Rose has grounded it to the second baseman. Will be out at first. It'll end the top of the second. But as I say, it is 3-0 to 1975. In comes Lombardi to lead the inning off. A first pitch swing. Lombardi to the third baseman. I think it's Pete Rose, isn't it? No play? Have a dig at that, mate. Come on. So a leadoff single. Frank McCormick comes in now. Full count. McCormick, that's going to get through, I think. It splits the middle infield on that side, or the infield on that right-hand side. And we'll have runners at first and second with none away. Tying run to the plate, it's Billy Werber. It's a 1-1 pitch, and Werber into center field. That's going to be easy out there. And runner will stay at second, so 1 away. And Harry Kraft comes in now. A 1-0. Kraft into center field. That's deeper again, but unfortunately much closer to center field. And that'll be 2 away. And it is Billy Myers. Can he make the most of the 2 on none out? No, he cannot. And it is still a scoreless 1940 Reds. And Joe Morgan will lead things off. 1 for 1 with an RBI, of course, from that first inning. It's a 1-2 pitch. Morgan looks like he popped that up. Center field is camped underneath at 1 away. Next man in will be... who is in next? Foster, of course it is. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI. First pitch. Foster, it's going to get caught in right field. Is it a sliding catch out there? That's 2 away. And Johnny Bench. A 1-2 pitch. And that is, again, going to be caught. You have to say both these teams have good hitting catches, don't they? A cleanup man and a number 5 hitter in the lineup. Yeah, a bit of a... probably just a coincidence, but... oh, and the pitcher, Gullett, no, it's Derringer, sorry, has got himself a leadoff single. So Lonnie Frey now with 1 on, none out. And that will be a ground ball. First base over to the shortstop covering at second. And they get the lead runner, so 1 away. Arnovich, an 0-1 pitch. Arnovich, that's the double play ball, surely 1, 2. And that'll do it for 1940. But, yeah, it's... maybe, I don't know, maybe it was more common sort of outside the modern game. And, I mean, if you've watched the channel, if you're new to the channel, you'll know either way, I would imagine, at this point. I'm a casual baseball fan at best. I watched it a lot more when I lived in Canada. Time difference was obviously a lot friendlier than in the UK. But, yeah, there doesn't seem to be many, or as many, hitting catches around these days. Certainly not sort of leading the lineup kind of thing. Like Mets, if you don't know, my favourite team. And I was sort of the Mike Piazza. That was sort of the era that I really got into it. And, you know, he was a proper hitting catcher, wasn't he? Like, he was sort of the almost the main man in the lineup, if not the main man in the lineup. That could be... oh, it's got through. So runners at first and second with 2 away. And Ken Griffey will come in now. Can he drive in a run? And no, he's popped that up. It'll be caught, and that'll do it for the top of the 4th. But yeah, it just seems these days, I mean, maybe it's just the teams like that, the games that I catch, they don't tend to have good hitting catches. But it's one of those things, I guess, isn't it? You either have a catcher that's good defensively. Well, actually, Johnny Bench is quite a good defensive catcher as well, so he's quite a valuable player, isn't he? Yeah, or you have someone that can hit that kind of catch a little bit. So I guess for cricket it's similar to wicket keepers, isn't it, in a way? Although if you're watching this, you probably don't watch cricket. But yeah, it's a very similar, the man that stands sort of behind the stumps as it is in cricket as opposed to the plate. So yeah, it's the trade-off of sport, and that's what makes it so good, isn't it? So we've got 1 on, 2 out, Werber to the plate. Full count. And there's a walk. So can 1940 drive a run across? It's Harry Kraft. He is the tying run, if he can get a good swing on it, but he can't. It's going to be caught in centre field, and that'll do it for the 4th. So we'll go to the 5th, 1975. After threatening to run away with it, it's still just the 3 runs, and Pete Rose will lead things off. He's 1 for 2. It's an 0-1 pitch, and Pete Rose up the middle. Oh, what a catch by the second baseman. Lonnie Frey showing all of that 70 defensive rating there, wasn't he? Look at this team defensively. They're absolute weapons. Anyway, Joe Morgan, an 0-2 pitch. And he strikes out. So that's 2 away. Foster steps in. He's 1 for 2. It's a 1-1 pitch. And Foster grounds it to the second baseman. And that'll do it for that. So it's sort of turning into a bit of a pitching duel right now, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, even this team not as good defensively, but they're certainly no mugs. Billy Myers. It's a 2-2 pitch. And he strikes out for the second time today. So 1 away with no one on for Paul Derringer, who did get himself on base, of course, with a leadoff single last time he was at the plate. It's a 1-2 pitch. This time he strikes out, and that'll be 2 away, and it'll be Lonnie Frey, 0 for 2. Full count. And Frey, it's a little dribbler back to the pitcher, easy as you like, and end of the inning. So we'll go to the 6th, 3-0 to 1975. Johnny Bench to lead things off. He is 0 for 2. It's a 2-1 pitch. And Bench he hasn't hit it well, has he? But it's one of those, he's got enough on it to get it over the second baseman. Oh, he's going to get thrown out at second. Never mind. So, 1 out, none on. Tony Perez. It's a 2-0. And that will be that, as he is thrown out at first. In comes Geronimo. It's a 1-2 pitch. And Geronimo down towards first base, but it is picked up by the first baseman. It was one of those that looked like it might skip down the line for a second, didn't it? But that'll do it for the top of the 6th, and it is Arnovich to lead things off, 0 for 2. It is a 1-2 pitch. And Arnovich strikes out for 1 away. In comes Goodman, who's 0 for 2. Another first pitch swing. Goodman has popped that up into left field. And we've got Goodman, it looks like, camped underneath. No, Foster, sorry, camped underneath it. Trying to read the commentary as I talk here. And Lombardi now with a 3-0. 2 out, none on. Lombardi draws the walk. They do, you think, need to try and get something, don't they? Just lessen the gap. A full count now on McCormick, who drills it down into the right field corner. And that might be their run. With 2 out, you surely risk the run home, don't you? They do. And it's an RBI double as he gets there comfortably in the end. So it is 3-1. Tying run at the plate. And they can, of course, go within 1 with the man at second. It's a full count. It is into centre field. It might be over centre field. He's going back, but never. Oh, a leaping catch. Never mind, he is going to get there. Geronimo. What a catch. And preserves the 2-run lead. Concepcion. 1 for 2 today will lead things off. It's a 1-2 pitch. And good catch by the shot. Some of the defensive plays in this game have been brilliant, haven't they? Derringer will face the pinch-hitting Merv Retterman. He is obviously not bat yet today. It's a 1-2 pitch. And he strikes out. So that's 1 away. So that'll be the end of Gullett. Ken Griffey now. A 2-2. And Ken Griffey grounds it, sharply hit, but to the shortstop to end the top of the 7th. So we will stretch. It is a 2-run game between 1940 and 1975 Reds. Alright, welcome back. It is Clay Carroll coming onto the mound. It is Kraft to lead things off for the 1940, who are they, Reds? And it's a 1-2 pitch. And it is a ground ball to the shortstop. Should be easy. It is 1 away. Alright, Billy Myers. Let's see what he can do. It's a full count. Oh, it was never close. Never close. And that is a 1-out walk. So tying run to the plate again. And it is a pinch-hitting Lou Riggs. So that'll do it for Derringer. Both starters are out of the game now. And I tell you what, Riggs may have hit into a double play there. Oh, it was a double play. Well, that'll go down as one of the worst pinch hits in the history of baseball. Never mind one of the better, in this quest to find the best team. So Elmer Riddle. Come onto the mound. Oh, there's just too much. Too much. My brain is just overloaded with puns. First pitch. And that is going to be caught in center field for 1 away. Alright, Joe Morgan. 1 for 3 today. It's a 1-2 pitch. He strikes out. I tell you what, if it wasn't for those first 2 innings, well, obviously they'd be in trouble. They wouldn't have any runs. It's a 1-0 pitch on Foster. He grounds it to the shortstop. That'll do it for the top of the 8th. It is still a 2-run game. And it'll be Lonnie Frey to lead things off. He is 0 for 3. It's a 1-1 pitch. And he looked like he was going to miss that, but he's dug it out, but he's popped it up into right field for a 1-out catch. Jimmy Ripple. So there's Ripple and Riddle. 2 pitch. And he has grounded that to the second baseman. So that's Arnovich, isn't it, out of the game? And it'll be Goodman, who's 0 for 3. It's a 1-1 pitch. And Goodman has hit it well, but again, it floats up into center field's glove. And that'll do it. The top of the order has just not shown up for the 1940 side today, has it? It is Joe Beggs to try and keep the lead at 2, or the deficit at 2, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? First pitch, and Johnny Bench has popped it up into left field, 108. In now will come Tony Perez, who is 2 for 3. It's a 2-2 pitch. And Perez down the third base line, and that will be at least a double right down into that left field corner. And the left fielder digs it out, gets it into second, but not before the runner. So, 1 out, runner at second for Geronimo. He's been very good defensively. 0 for 2 at the plate today, a full count, and Geronimo walks. So, runners at first and second with 1 out. And Concepcion, who is 1 for 3. It's a 3-0. And just like that, the bases are loaded. A hit, 2 walks. And Dan Drizzen is pinch hitting. It's a full count. Oh, he struck him out looking. So, can they add to the lead? It's Ken Griffey. He's 0 for 3. It's a 1-0 pitch. Ken Griffey, it's up the middle. It's going to fall in. He's going to get a hit, you know. It's an infield hit for Ken Griffey. It is 4-1 to the 1975 Reds. And there is still a chance to extend on that as Pete Rose comes in. 1 for 4 today, a 2-1 pitch. And Pete Rose lines it straight to the second baseman. It ends the top of the ninth. Can 1940 get a late ninth inning rally going here? It's Rawley Eastwick that'll be on the mound. Lombardi will lead things off. He is 1 for 2. It is a 1-0 pitch. Lombardi, is that going to get over second base? It is. Well, they needed to start with the leadoff man aboard, and they've got it. McCormick now, who is 3 for 3. He's got half the hits of his side. It's an 0-2 pitch. And that is going to be caught in center field. Runner will go back, and it'll be 1 away. And it is Billy Werver now, who's 0 for 2. An 0-1. That gets away from the catcher. Runner goes to second. Doesn't really matter, of course. Whether they win 4-1 or 4-2, I'm sure they don't care. Billy Werver now. Can he get himself on base? It's a 3-1. He can. So we have tying run at the plate. It's Harry Kraft. For about the third time he's been the tying run. He's 0 for 3. It's a 1-1 pitch. And Kraft hits it into a double play. Does he? Oh, it's an error to load the bases. The winning run is now at the plate. It's Bill Myers. There's 1 out. The bases are loaded. Myers is 0 for 2. It's a 2-2 pitch. Oh, and he watches it. Dude, come on, swing the bat. How can you look at that? So that's the final out. It's what we all dream of, isn't it? Bottom of the ninth, loaded bases, 2 out, and you're the winning run. It's Mike McCormick gets the chance to live a childhood dream. He is pinch hitting. It's a 2-2 pitch. Just swing the bat. Don't go down looking. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How? How do you sleep at night doing that? 1975 have won. So it will be the 1975 Reds moving on to represent the franchise against the rest of baseball. In truth, probably just about right. They did seem to be the stronger team throughout that game, didn't they? And certainly they won their semi-final pretty comfortably as well. So that's good. Well done to them. Next up, it is Milwaukee. Maybe not the strongest teams going around, but they're in the Major League Baseball. They've got to get a representative. So we'll see who it's going to be. It'll either be, as I check my notes, 1982, what a year that was, or 2011. I'll see you in Milwaukee next time around, guys. Take care.